Okay, everybody. So, welcome back. This is Ian from Mindful Marketplace and a tinybookabout.com, our new publishing project and platform for 2024. I want to share with you a new cohort that we have coming up in, let's see, just a few days. I think the 6th of December, 2023. I'm recording this on November 30th. All right. So, what we're aspiring to do, as many of you know, is writing tiny books, creating tiny courses, and launching tiny movements that make a big difference and a big impact in our lives as authors and entrepreneurs, as well as in the world writ large. So, uh, the process that we're actually, kind of hopefully innovating on is really simplifying the, kind of the step by step content creation strategy for launching binge worthy courses, products, content courses, cohorts, coaching, and communities. It's really ideal for anybody who's an author or anybody who's an entrepreneur and wants to be an author, or really ostensibly authors who want to be entrepreneurs as well. There are plenty of folks who've written books. Those books aren't selling, or they're not selling nearly as well as they could be. And I'd even argue, more importantly, they're not making as much money as they should be, even if they're not selling so well. So, our whole approach to writing tiny books in 2024 is this idea of writing what we call bridge books. Bridge books introduce an idea that invites or inspires an experience, and the experience is actually what you do in the real world rather than the book itself. So many of these sort of, kind of like author marketing guru gimmicky type of, goofballs that we see online are always like bullshitting us about how to sell more books, as if that was the sort of, prime directive for, writing and profiting from a nonfiction book. I'd argue it's not. The key is actually to write books that sell services, that sell courses, that build your community, that actually, build your brick and mortar business, that help folks find you in the real world, that, get people to sign up or on for a, mission or a manifesto or a cause or a community. There are so many other ways to actually, I would say there's so many more important ways to make money from your book than actually selling a ton of books. I think selling a ton of books is obviously a goal we all have, but my real focus is showing authors how to use their books, as an entrepreneurial lever to build their brand, their business, and their bank account. And of course, on the other side of that, to show authors or aspiring authors, entrepreneurs who may be successful already, who want to write books but think it's too hard, or they're bad writers, or they're not, smart or talented enough, how easy it can be to actually write a book that changes your life and changes the world. All right. So, our essential strategy is to empower authors, artists, makers, marketers, and enlightened entrepreneurs with the easiest content creation process in the world. And essentially, we have four really simple core offers or opportunities that we're presenting to the authors in our orbit. Number one, things like this: binge worthy audio content and courses for your clients and community using very simple, even affordable, or even free tools, certainly affordable, recording like audio courses, alternatives to like podcasting, like private podcasts, things like that, that are really great tools for authors to sell more books, to actually get more clients, and to launch communities on a bootstrap budget. We use transistor.fm for private audio courses, and it's fantastic. There are lots of other analogs as well, which we're going to share with those in our community. There are, there's a huge opportunity to take itty bitty ideas that you may have and put them into bite-sized courses like this that actually empower and inspire your audience while selling more books, while building your brand, and again, obviously your business and bank account to boot. I mean, you can take little takeaways from your book if you're an existing author and turn them into these little micro courses just like this, and actually use that to sell books to a new audience, as well as to sell courses, to sell coaching, and to expand your influence in new and innovative ways. And the other things that we're working on are, I see a lot of folks recommending authors in our orbit, start blogs using this tool or that tool or the other tool. And essentially, what I'd argue is that's really a mistake in 2023, and certainly 2024 and beyond. There are great ways now to turn your content into exclusive members only, sort of a community hub that you can charge a membership for. There's ways of doing this with NFTs, with newsletters, with something like Substack, with Ghost. Lots of very cool and creative ways to restrict or gate your content and do it in a very aesthetically appealing way that really transforms the way authors and entrepreneurs can connect with our clients and community. And the other thing that I'm really excited to share, and I've been talking about this for about a decade now, is something called the content cornerstone rather than the an outline. So again, having now taken a bunch of these author courses to see what other folks are offering our audience, most folks are still telling their clients or prospective clients how to write an outline, like the key to outlining a book. I think that's shitty advice. I think it's bad advice. I think the antithesis of the endless outline is something that we call a content cornerstone, which is think small but series, and chunk down your book into small sort of education, marketing, bite-sized, bingeable books that can be put together in a collection or a series. And it's really the antidote to kind of writer's block or perpetual procrastination, and that sort of thing, because it's easy to create an outline, like a master outline that keeps getting bigger and wider and more unwieldy, and you never actually get the book published. You just keep adding to the outline. Whereas if you target one sort of like silo within a series, and you just tackle that one thing, and you pop one pain or heal one hurt or help your ideal audience or your reader overcome a really perpetual problem in their own lives in one very narrow and specific way, you can turn that into a single book. It doesn't have to be a chapter. It can actually be a tiny book that folks actually read and finish. All right. So, and then you just build that out in a series of similar related topics and titles. And now you have 10 or 12, tiny books rather than one book that never gets published. All right. We're actually hoping to write 50 books this year. So I'm actually going to be demonstrating exactly what it is that I'm teaching myself. When I say we, I'm looking to publish 50 books in 2024. And these are generally all mapped out already. And that includes other folks in our community who are going to be writing their own. So we're really looking to publish, many more than 50 in 2024, and doing it in a very, kind of highly, refined way. I'm not talking about like bad books that are like 8 pages. I'm talking about tiny books that really make a big difference in the lives of our audience, right? These are quality, or at least I'm hoping they're quality books, and not, these kind of like 12-page books you see on Amazon that sure anyone can write in a weekend. All right. We want to inspire 500 entrepreneurs in the world to become published authors. These are folks who are, have businesses already or have business plans for 2024 that would benefit from having a book. and we want to show them how easy it can be to write a tiny book that makes a huge impact in their lives and in the world, and especially in the lives of their clients and community. But we also want to inspire 500 authors to become better entrepreneurs. One of the most pressing problems that I see in my own, kind of community is that folks think there is a, kind of binary, a false binary, that to become an author or to be an author or an artist, you by definition can't be creative or can't be, excuse me, that was actually the wrong thing that I wanted to say there. If you're an author or an artist, you are by definition artistic, but they have this sense that they can't actually be hustlers or marketers or salespeople or advocates for their own books, brand, and business. And what I want to show folks that they can do is ethically, turn their books, the module I have for this is speak like a sage, but hustle like an entrepreneur. Because we have folks who are writing about mindfulness and mental health and therapy, therapeutic modalities of different types, but legitimately they find themselves struggling to actually advocate for themselves, to advocate for their books, to advocate for their content. And I think that's a mistake. I think that you can really effectively advocate and promote your work and hustle and really buy into that process and enjoy it and become like addicted to the energy rush that comes from sharing your sort of missionary message with the world. And if you have passion for something and you feel a sense of purpose that is aligned with what it is that you're doing for a living, there is a real sort of rush that comes with, getting more and more people exposed to your words and ultimately your work. All right. So the, focus again is in those core areas that we've just covered. Teach what you know, do what you love, wake up the world with your work. If you're interested in joining a creative community of authors and artists, makers, marketers, community leaders, and enlightened entrepreneurs who really want to make a difference in the world. This is not like for folks who want to write bad books that are, selling snake oil. These are really carefully curated entrepreneurs, authors, and artists that have an alignment with my own ideas and our community values. If you're interested in that, I would encourage you to check out the newest cohort, which we have coming up here in our Mindful Marketplace community. It opens next week and on the 6th of December. And for 30 days, you will get a ton of really actionable, really, I would argue, innovative and unique approaches to writing a book that changes the world and changes your life in 2024 and beyond. We will also, feature and recommend our community books to our own subscribers, of which we have thousands, folks on newsletter lists, etc. So lots of great opportunities to collaborate with our community in the coming year and years to come. Teach what you know, do what you love, wake up the world with your work. As always, I appreciate you listening and have a wonderful day. If you're interested in this course, I'll post a link, or the mini course, I'll post a link to that as well if you want to review this content that I just covered. Thanks so much. Have a wonderful day, and I appreciate you watching.